heads up, coffee drinkers, prices may soon be on the rise. That's pretty much everyone, isn't it? According to Commerce Bank, the weather pattern known as El Nino may reduce the amount of rainfall in Vietnam and Indonesia, and that in turn would hurt coffee crops. There is another issue brewing. The report says stockpiling by Brazil is also going to boost the price of your morning cup of joe. That's a little worrisome. So that's the bull story on coffee. Michael Whitney is here from the markets desk with the bear side of the story. So, you know, not everyone, I imagine, on Wall Street is buying this El Nino story, right, Michael?
Absolutely not. I mean, I'm not buying the story. Most of the analysts I speak to are really not buying the story. Fortis Bank today came out with their report, sort of contrary to what Commerce Bank is saying, and they're looking at good rainfall in the Central Highlands, which is the main coffee-growing region in Vietnam, and they see if this El Nino effect really does come and hit. It's just going to hit Indonesia, and Indonesia, in the bigger picture, is just not that big a producer, about 8 million bags of coffee a year, and that's just Robusta coffee. Remember, Robusta coffee is the cheap coffee that has rougher flavor. That's for instant and freeze-dried coffee. And what's really important here is Arabica coffees, which are grown primarily in Brazil, which is the world's largest producer of coffee.
Okay, and big coffee news, McDonald's entree into the coffee market. Is that going to do anything to demand?
Well, it's actually pretty ironic. You think you've got more people going to Starbucks and McDonald's. It's actually good for demand. It's actually quite the opposite. The biggest consumer of coffee is your drain and your sink at home, because when you brew a little bit more than you drink, and you pour it out. And then your drink basically goes down the drain, and your drain gets its coffee buzz. So with more people doing single serving and more people going to Starbucks and McDonald's, there's less waste, actually, and so the demand is really going down. So we're seeing a real structural move in coffee demand away from brewing at home to specialty brews, and that's actually bad for the demand picture in coffee.
So when we waste coffee at home, we are actually impacting coffee prices out there.
Absolutely.
That's fascinating. All right, Michael Whitney, thanks for joining us.